I'm Patrick Page. I'm 59 years old and I live in New York City. I'm an actor professionally. I am right now playing Hades in Hadestown on Broadway. I'm also doing a series for HBO called The Gilded Age. Like many people who are losing their hearing, I was somewhat in denial of it, and I thought I was too young to be losing my hearing. And so it got progressively worse over the years. I couldn't hear the other actors, and I would simply wait until their mouths stopped moving to say my next line. And of course, that's really antithetical to any kind of good acting. And these problems just began to pile up to the point where I could no longer ignore them. And so about 3 or 4 years ago, I finally went to the audiologist and had my hearing tested and found out that in fact I had pretty severe hearing loss. I had purchased hearing aids for my parents in the past, but I wasn't aware of how unobtrusive a hearing aid could be. You're on camera, you can't have a visible hearing aid. And especially with the hearing aids that I wear from Widex are not visible on camera. And so they've been a real lifesaver for me, especially in my career. I actually wouldn't be able to do most of my work now without my hearing aids. The sound quality is fantastic. It's just like life. There's no difference between the sound of the hearing aids and the sound of natural hearing. There's no tinny sound, there's no mechanical sound. It's just the sound of hearing well that I remember from being 20 years old. And then I just remember the next project, it was just like night and day. And the composer and playwright of Hadestown, Anais Mitchell, and she was like, "Patrick, you're like participating in the party," because I would never participate. And she said, and she's like, "It's your hearing, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah, it's my hearing." The accessories that I use the most and that I like the most are the remote control, which is just great. It really gives me a lot of control over what I hear and what I choose not to hear. And then the Comdex device, which allows me to take phone calls. Usually I don't take a call, but with the hearing aids, I can, because through Bluetooth, it's connected to my phone. I press a button and then it immediately goes into my ear. And they can hear me and I can hear them. And of course the app, the app is great. I can listen to, radio from my iPhone. I can listen to podcasts, and I can change the settings. So I can make it a setting for a restaurant, for example, that'll screen out to some extent the background noise. Or let's say I'm in the car and I'm driving and I want to talk to my wife who's sitting next to me. I can, on my program, calibrate it so that it goes that way and screens out a lot of the rest of the noise. It doesn't take it out entirely because I want to be able to hear if somebody honks or if there's a sound over there, but it's focusing on her. I would like other people who are suffering from hearing loss or who suspect they may be suffering from hearing loss to know how much better it can be.
Widex. Sound like no other.